This is the GNDL Week 17 builder for the match against the Twin Cities Twincruels. I think that's what it's called, coached by Rat Egg. First thing I should say before I do this is, yes, there's an Alakazam on my team. I traded Azel for Alakazam because basically what I wanted Alakazam to do, Azel to do, was be the top speed tier on my team. It'd be fast and hit hard. Alakazam is faster and hits harder. Magic Card is honestly just a really broken ability. Like, I liked that Levitate could avoid spikes and lets me switch on earthquakes, but Magic Card avoids all hazards except Sticky Web. And T-Spikes even stop it from being parried, which is very nice, or put to sleep, and you can switch in on Poison and Burn and just not care unless you're running Physical Time, in which case you do need to care if it gets burned. Yeah. The other thing which I was considering dropping it for was Screamtail. And if I did that, I would have also dropped Primarina and Overquill. I would have dropped Primarina, Azelf, and Overquill for Suicune, Screamtail, and Hisuian Corvish. I decided not to go through with that because I liked how Primarina was playing, and I didn't feel like using Suicune, and I thought that Overquill would have more offensive utility compared to a Hisuian Corvish, which could be a little harder to use, I think, since it has a lower attack stat. I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah, I definitely know a lot. Anyway, my thoughts on the matchup. The first thing I noticed looking at this is Galarian Momentum kind of just goes wild, right? Like, the only ice resists on the team are Blastoise and Arcanine. Arcanine is a Terra Captain, and the chance of it terrestrializing out of an Ice resistance is pretty high. And Blastoise is a Mega, so it has no recovery, it can't hold leftovers, it can't hold Citrus Berry, its only recovery is Rest. If it runs Rest, it can't be Chester, so it has to be Rest Talk, or just deal with the turns of being asleep. And it's on the Sand team, so if Hippowdon comes in, it will constantly be getting chipped down, and basically Galarian Darmanitan can kind of just click Ice Skull Crash into the team very easily, and everything that we don't, because Hisuian Arcanine just gets two-shot by it when we're choice banned, because this is also a very good match for banded Galarian Darmanitan because of the speed tiers. It is faster than the entire team outside of Rabombi, which is faster than my whole team anyway, and Drapion, which it speed ties, and if Drapion comes, I'm not expecting it to be fast, I'm expecting it to be more of a bulky set, with the aim of probably like max HP assault vest, max attack, with the aim of being able to check both Ogerpon and Chandelure at the same time. Hopefully, I don't think that would work too well, but I'm expecting it to be more of a bulky variant. Is my point. Like, it can try and check like Alakazam, Overquill, Ogerpon, Chandelure, kind of, not really though. So I'm not expecting it to be max speed. Even so, I am full max speed on Darmanitan, just in case it comes, so that I can have that option to make them fear the speed tie instead of creeping, the Hisuian Arcanine, because the extra bulk I get is not very much and doesn't help that much. Our 4 goes into defense to help us against Terra Normal Extreme Speed from Arcanine, which is one of the reasons that Arcanine's so scary. Now, I should talk about the team more, instead of going for what I brought without talking about this team at all. This team is very interesting because I think that it is quite scary to prep for, while being one of the most unconventional teams in the league, because the most expensive Pokemon points-wise that they have is the Ursaluna Blood Moon, which is 16 points. Well, technically, since the Hisuian Arcanine has a very high Terra tax, it's more expensive, but other than that, the third cheapest one is Skarmory at 13 points, Terra Hatterini at 13, then Dracozolt, Mega Blastoise, and Hippowdon at 13, and then Motom and Rabombi at 8, and Dravion at 7. So it's one of the most balanced teams in the league, where every Pokemon on the team you have to realistically consider as a threat that could come to the battle, because they're all they all range from decent to great. But there's no obscenely broken, really expensive stuff on it, which I think is pretty cool. And I like the little sand core with Hippowdon and Dracozolt, and then 2 very scary offensive ones which don't get affected by sand in Ursaluna Blood Moon and Hisuian Arcanine. Skarmory is very good Pokemon. Good hazard removal, good hazard setting, good bulk, good iron defense, body press threat. Sword Stance Recon is also really cool. I used it last season. I'm very biased. I also used Rabombi last season. And I used Arctozolt last season, plus a Pokemon which can set up the weather for it. It's kind of a coincidence. This is honestly quite a similar team to mine last season, except instead of snow, it's sand, and there's no Tapu Lele Sneasler Menace combo on it. Yeah, anyway, I like his team a lot. It's quite hard to prep for. Skarmory basically eternally walls everything not a special attacker, which is funny because it walls my special attacker in this match as well. And Hisuian Arcanine is, I don't think it's the single best Terra Captain in this league, but it is most definitely one of the hardest to prep for because there's so much stuff you can do. It can just run raw Choice Fan Terra Rock Head Smash with Rock Head and cave your head in. In this match, I wouldn't be surprised to see Scarf to get the jump on Alakazam, but it could also just be Terra normal E-Speed with the Choice Band. But I could also see Agility with either Terra Fairy or Terra Ice Terra Blast to hit Garchomp quite hard. I'm expecting Terra Ice more than Terra Fairy because literally nothing else on my team is weak to Fairy other than Garchomp. And even though Ogerpon's also weak to Fire in addition to being weak to Ice, it lets the Arcanine keep an Ice resistance for the Galarian Diamantan, so that it can, eat the Ice Skull Crash without just instantly dying, because it takes 55 when it resists it, which is kind of wild how strong Banded Diamantan is. Hatterene was also very annoying for me in mocks. Trick Room was very annoying. That's the entire reason Overcool is on the team. Initially, I had Belly Bolt instead to check Motom and to take advantage of Mega Blastoise, but then I felt it too hard to bring into 2 ground types and a Pokemon with Volt Absorb. And it was also meant to check Hatterene, sort of, but it doesn't, because Hatterene gets Psychic Noise and then I can't heal at all. So, yeah, it doesn't really check Hat. Anyway, Megastoise is their best Galarian Diamantan check. Ursaluna Blood Moon just hits very hard. If the Hatterene can set up Trick Room and then Healing Wish, and Blood Moon comes in, starts Blood Mooning me up. It gets chipped. Maybe in 2 turns after Trick Room, it gets chipped by a lot, and then it has to switch out into Full Health Mode, which then gets sacked, and then it gets brought back into Healing Wish. Healing Wishes it. It's very problematic, is my point. Hippowdon is not that bad on its own, right? Defensively, it's pretty good into Overcoil and Garchomp, which I brought, and it's Stonewall. Well, it didn't Stonewall, but it was very annoying for Belly Bolt, which I had on the team before Overcoil. Dracozolt was kind of annoying, which is why we are Habanberry on Garchomp. That's our Dracozolt check. Rotom was very easily checked by the Belly Bolt, but then I took it off and I didn't know how to deal with the Motom. Ogerpon can switch into its Stab Ball, but it really doesn't want to get Will-O-Wisped or Thunder Waved, and then U-Turn can do a lot of damage to it. But status is very annoying. And Drapion stonewalls my Overquill, and also sits decently on Ogerpon and very well on Alakazam. So that's kind of an issue. But other than that, it's not that good, because it's basically just a free switch into Garchomp. And then Garchomp can start doing Garchomp things. Anyway. I forgot Rabombi. Specs Moonblast, pretty cool into my team. I have 2 resists. one of which is a Chandelure. Quiver Dance is also annoying. It can't Terra though, so it has to rely on like hidden power. Either it can run HP Fire to hit Corviknight and not care about Chandelure, HP Ground to hit Chandelure and not care about Corviknight, or HP Rock to hit Chandelure and like try and cope against Corv, which like Moonblast does more damage to Corviknight anyway. Yeah, it's not too much of an issue unless I let Corviknight go down, in which case it's a massive threat because it outspeeds my whole team. What I brought first thing, as I mentioned, this team very easy to click ice moves into. I just brought Banded Darmanitan. I brought Scarf. I've never brought Band before. Mostly I bring Scarf, and that one time I brought Belly Drum. So, Banded Darm hits really hard. As I mentioned, it does like 55 to Arcanine with Icicle Crash. Minimum, by the way. That's the min roll. Ursaluna Blood Moon gets O-Code. Hippowdon gets O-Code. Hatterene gets O-Code. Everything except for Blastoise, Skarmory, Hisuian Arcanine, and Max HP Drapion gets O-Code by Icicle Crash. And everything else that isn't Blastoise gets 2-hit KO'd by Icicle Crash. And I can just U-turn on the Blastoise, so that's very cool because it can't be Helmet because it's a Mega. I then also have Fire Punch for a slightly stronger hit against the Skarmory in case I need it, as well as another move that can Oko Rabombi and Rotom-Mow without missing. I have Earthquake for Dracozolt if I don't want to miss, and for Drapion if I don't want to miss, and for an Arcanine pre-Terra, or just if I don't want to miss, I guess. And then I have U-turn for pivoting. Then we have Fizzdeath Garchomp. Yeah! Garchomp is our Arcanine check. If the Arcanine is Terra Ice or Terra Fairy, then it's not really an Arcanine check anymore, and I will be relying on Alakazam to deal with the Arcanine. We have Raw, Earthquake, Flamethrower, and Toxic. Raw is to prevent something like an Agility Arcanine or a Curse Hippowdon or a Sword Stance or an Iron Defense Skarmory from beating me up, I guess. Toxic lets us wear down a Ursaluna Blood Moon, a Hippowdon, a Blastoise. Yeah, basically the stuff which we can poison, so the non-steel types, poison types, and magic bounce stuff which we don't just kill with our moves already. And then we have Earthquake and Flamethrower as our attacking moves. Earthquake is just stab, it hits the team pretty hard. Ground is quite good into this team. And Flamethrower is super effective on all of the Pokemon that resist or are immune to ground, because one of them is Levitate Rotom-Mow, one of them is Skarmory, and the third one is Rabombi, all of which are weak to fire. Specifically, I went with Flamethrower over Fire Fang, because it does a lot more to Skarmory, and it stops Skarmory from really being able to Iron Defense in my face. Except it doesn't actually, because it does like 36 to 40, so it can actually roost in front of a Flamethrower and Garchomp. But, like, if we get Chip from Darmanitan, or basically anything else, then Flamethrower can help us deal with the Garchomp, the Skarmory, and we have Roar anyway to phase it out if it gets too many Iron Defenses. And then we have Ogerpon, which is... we also have a Habanberry, so that we can check the Dracozolt. Basically, if the Dracozolt is Choice Band and it's Dragon Claw, not Outrage, or if it isn't Choice Band or Hustle and it's Outrage, then we can switch in, eat the first Dragon Claw or Outrage with the Habanberry, then tank the second, since we're max Fizz Death, and then just kill it with Earthquake. After 2 rounds of Rough Skin Chip, it's a guaranteed kill, even if it's max HP. Yeah. That's basically all I have to say about Garchomp. It's also a Dracozolt check, and it's kind of somewhat a Drapion check, since it switches in on Drapion quite well, and Earthquake threatens it out. Unless it's Sword Stance Ice Fang, in which case I guess we lose. We don't actually lose, but it is annoying. Anyway, then we have Ogerpon, who has a Chalanberry, and the Stomping Tantrum, Ivy Cudgel, U-turn, Protect. We have enough speed to creep the Drapion, and then just max attack, Adamant, and 8 defense to help us against, you guessed it, extreme speed from Hisuian Arcanine. Yeah, Stomping Ivy Cudgel, very good into this team. The only real, good switch-ins to Cudgel are Rotomo and Skarmory. Actually, it's not that good. They have Motom, Skarmory, Drakazol, Rabombi, and Drapion as resists, but Stomping Tantrum really deals with the Drapion and the Drakazol. U-turn does a lot of damage to Motom, and Ivy Cudgel 2-shot Rabombi, so really it's only the Skarmory which is walling us, which Skarmory kind of walls my whole team. I need to get Darmanitan in on it, and it needs to be chipped, or I need to flinch it in order to deal with the Skarmory, which is, maybe I should have brought Chandelure, but I didn't bring Chandelure, and I don't need Chandelure. Anyway, then we have Protect, which is solely to stall out Trick Room turns or Sand turns. If I need to stall out Sand for a Sand Rush Drakazort or Trick Room from a Hatterini, then we have Protect, because I didn't really need a fourth move. The closest thing to use would be maybe Knock Off to get rid of the Skarm's Helmet or Lefties, or maybe Play Rough for a slightly stronger move against the Drakazol. But I don't think I really need the fourth move slot, and Protect just has a lot of utility. Our Talon Berry means that even if we take quite a bit of chip, we won't die to Terra Normal, Choice Band, Extreme Speed from Arcanine, or even not Terra Normal or Choice Band. If it's not Terra Normal and not Choice Band, Extreme Speed does very, very little to this Ogerpon. It's basically just to stop this from revenge killing us, since it's their best way outside of Scarf Rabombi, which is stonewalled by Corviknight always, forever. So I'm not too worried about Rabombi, but the Arcanine I am quite worried about because it's quite a good offensive threat into my team. That's what the 8 defense is for. It's for extreme speeds after the first extreme speed, which swaps Chilanberry. And Chilanberry also helps if Arcanine is down or just doesn't have E-speed against the Ursaluna Blood Moon, because it means that we always live a Blood Moon unless it has set up 2 Calm Minds, or it has set up 1 Calm Mind or a Specs and gets a crit. So we can actually switch in Ogerpon very aggressively on the second last turn of Trick Room on an Ursaluna Blood Moon. Take the Hyper Voice or Earth Power or Blood Moon, because Chilanberry essentially makes us resist the normal move, and we already resist ground. And then we click Protect to stall out the final turn. And if they use Earth Power and get a Death Drop before we Terra, then we get +2 attack. Anyway, then we Protect for the final turn, and we can kill it with Ivy Cudgel, or get an Ivy Cudgel off. Anyway, then we have Overquill, which is a bulky offensive set this week. Our 12 speed lets us speed creep a 0 speed investment Rotom-Mow, so that we can taunt it before it T-Waves or Will-O-Wisps us. Then once we taunt it, or something else like a Drapion or a Skarmory, we can then Sword Stance in its face. And then Black Glass's Throat Chop is very nice. We have Black Glasses specifically for a bunch of calcs. It lets us 2-shot the Ursaluna Blood Moon and the Skarmory. It lets us 2-shot Max HP Ursaluna Blood Moon, Max Vizdef Skarmory, Max Vizdef Hatterini, and Max Vizdef Mega Blastoise, and Vizdef Hippowdon, I think, at +2 attack with Throat Chomp without Black Glasses. All of those are rolls. We can 2-shot them, but we can also not 2-shot them. It depends on the roll, obviously. And then we have Poison Jab to deal with Hatterini before Terra, which is quite annoying for this team. Yeah, that's basically just the set. The goal is to taunt stuff to stop spikes or iron defenses or defogs. Well, defogs don't matter because I didn't bring hazards. But to stop the the Motom and the what's the Pokemon called, Skarmory, from doing stuff, and then we can Sword Dance up and do a bunch of damage. Then we have our newest recruit, Alakazam, who is Focus Sash and Magic Guard, and only enough speed to outspeed the Drapion because the Rabombi's faster than my whole team. We have Focus Sash, and we are Counter, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Grassnot. Grassnot is huge in this matchup because the Pokemon weak to Grassnot, which we'll be using it against, being Ursaluna Blood Moon, Mega Blastoise, and Hippowdon, it's 120 base power against all of them. Like, all of them are really heavy, so it's 120 BP, which is very nice. Psychic is honestly just pretty good to the team in general, and Shadow Ball lets us hit Hatterene. We are kinda stonewalled by the Drapion, and honestly, we can't do very much to the Skarmory either, but I really needed counter in case there's like a choice band Arcanine extreme speeding my team in, and Ogerpon's Shalanberry is popped, or Ogerpon has been too chipped, or whatever, and Corviknight's down or something. Or the Arcanine gets up in agility, or there's a Dracozolt in sand and Garchomp is dead. Then Magic Guard, Focus Sash, Counter can bail me out of those situations. And I was really struggling against the Hatterene, which is why I have Shadow Ball instead of Charge Beam, or like a Hidden Power Fire, or Electric, or even Ground to hit Drapion, or Skarmory. And finally, we have Corviknight. Yeah, this is not a well thought out set. It's just max defense and the rest in special defense with min speed. Wow, how original. Anyway, it's Taunt, U-turn, Default, Roost. Taunt lets us stop Hippo from whirlwinding or stealth rocking, and lets us stop the Skarmory from doing whatever it wants to do. Defog lets us get rid of Skarm's hazards, as well as rocks from the Hippo or the Arcanine. Roost is for healing, and we have min speed U-turn to be a slow pivot. We should be slower than everything on the team unless they go min speed with Hippo, Bear. Oh, we're also min speed is faster than no speed investment Hatterene, which is sad because Hatterene is really slow. But like this min speed is honestly probably not going to matter too much because I'm expecting them to bring Trick Room, and when they do, the Ursaluna will be min speed for the Trick Room. But then we can just like slow U-turn on it in Trick Room, which is really cool, even though my whole team is slower than it in Trick Room. Anyway, and Hippo, well, it'll be faster if it's min speed, but if it's not min speed, then we can slow U-turn on it. Anyway, that's the team. Hopefully I do well. Kinda need a bounce back after last week getting cooked by Shaman. Don't want to think about that one. Their bulky grass type is Rotom. That's way worse into my team than Shaman. Doesn't have recovery outside of Pain Split. Anyway, yep, there's the team. Hopefully we do well, and I will see you in the battle. This is the week 7 battle. Yes, week 7. There's a Rotom on my screen, and I don't have a check to moat on. So I'm just going to kill it. Watch this, guys. I'm going to lead Darmanitan and click Icicle Crash. Probably. Unless I suspect something is up, and then I will probably not click Icicle Crash. Yeah. It's Terra Nor Arcanine. So that means I can always just wall it with Garchomp. Yay! Wahoo! Garchomp! My favorite defensive Pokemon! Anyway. Yeah. This isn't Terra Ice, so Garchomp should always answer it. Corviknight will eternally wall the Rabombi. There is a slight issue that Garchomp is also my main answer to Dragozolt, but there's no sand, so it's probably gonna have to be a Hustle set, or it's Volt Absorb, and it's just their Belly Bolt check, which is not something I expect to say. Anyway, we get off a Toxic onto the beat. Probably should just click Flamethrower because I knew it was going to come in. But I'm going to go Corviknight anyway. Don't switcheroo, don't switcheroo. They just go for webs, okay. This thing doesn't get taunt, so I'm just going to taunt. No, I'm not. I lied. I'm going to defog because they're going to switch. Exactly. Now, I don't want to eat this move, so I'm going to go into Ogerpon as they probably just Volt Switch. He just charged him, power, power. I'm the best player in the game. Okay, Terra Grass U-turn time. Doing, 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 doing. This is... Oh. Oh. That... Is that Fizz Death? No. Okay. Let's just... I'm going to assume that's... Let's actually check the damage to discharge. No. No. Oh. I think it's like absolute max per def. What nature am I looking for? Calm. Okay. I'm just gonna go into Monkey and click U-turn. And whatever comes in will die. Well, that won't die actually. It does take 41 though, which is quite a lot of damage. So I'm gonna... This is Mega and it's Speed F. Another Calm Nature. Wow, I'm doing too much calcing. Do I kill it? No, I don't. However, I do if it's Fizz Death. So I am just going to Grass Knot this thing. And, hope it dies. Huh? Why is it telling me? Oh, because it weighs more. That's why it does more damage. Anyway, I'm gonna go back out into Corviknight now. Haha, wow, great gameplay. Goes for Stun Spore, that's fine. I'm just going to U-turn. They go for Reflect. Ooh! I don't have anything faster than this. Oh, that's a lie, I do, but it can't kill it. So I'm instead going to go into this guy and click Swords Dance. Because if they Stun Spore me, then they die in 2 turns. This is not specs, by the way. I should get rid of that. I assume it's the last... Yep. Now I taunt the Skarmory, so it can't whirlwind me or whatever. I'm going to assume that's likely. Although you never know. Body Press does 30. That is in fact Fizz Death. And no, it's locked into Body Press. We go into Garchomp. It's leftovers. Good to know. We just click Flamethrower. Hit it for 43%. Go for another Flamethrower. Because they already terrestrialized Arcanine. Well, now I just Earthquake this always. That was very unfortunate for them. Anyway, I'm Habanberry, so it doesn't matter. That did 16%. That means it would have done 32 and then 64. Yeah, that definitely would have killed me. I'm now going to save this and go into the guy with Intimidate, who took 16% as well. And I'm just going to Sword Stance up. Okay, that's nice. That's very good. It's gone. Arcanine comes out. I go into Chomp. I probably take my whole HP bar from an E-Speed. Yes, I do. I go for Earthquake. I let Chomp die. I don't need this Pokemon anymore. Skarmory's at low enough health where I can just kill it. I should count that damage, actually. Is that choice band? Yes, that's choice band. Okay. Now I just go into Ogerpon. I click Ivy Cudgel. Because I'm Chalan, so I will live the E-Speed. What? Skarmory comes in. This does, what? 16 on a crit. You turn back out into this guy, taunt it. And then just go for Throat Chop for damage. Now it should be in... It's not in Icicle Crash range. It's not in range of anything, actually. Why did I go into this Pokemon? I shouldn't have gone to Darmanitan. That was very, very, very dumb of me. U-turn barely gives me chip. That's a terrible play. It's probably calking this now. Which is fair, but like... Yeah, I don't... Why did I go into Darmanitan? I said it wasn't Darmanitan range. Okay, they just sack off Ribombee. That's good. I'm going to go into... Is it in... No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go into Zam because Blastoise is in Alakazam range. Rotomo's in Alakazam range. Skarmory isn't, but Skarmory can't kill us. I'm gonna Grass Knot now. It should just die. Beautiful. It wasn't Spidef. Harkonine comes in. I just go for counter because I'm Focus Sash. Harkonine dies. Perfect. And now I can just sack this for... It's Spidef, so it lives. Oh, it's Assault Vest. Oh, okay. Go out into Ogerpon. I U-turn, this dies, I go into Galarian Darmanitan. I just Fire Punch, and I get the roll. Okay, that's a good win. That's very nice. Unfortunate burn on the Drakazol, but I don't think it mattered too much in the end. See you in the next one.